Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we decode the world of business and finance. And let me tell you, Analog Devices just dropped some news that's making waves in the tech world. So buckle up because we're about to dive into their latest report. And trust me, there are some interesting numbers in here. All right, so what we have here is a current report from Analog Devices Inc. Think of this as a quick update to let everyone know what's going on with the company. The main reason for this report is to announce their financial results for the fiscal third quarter that ended on August 2nd of 2025. The real juicy details are in this press release dated August 2025. This is where they spill the beans on their performance for that 3-month period. Now they are legally obligated to share this information, but for us it's a goldmine for understanding how they're doing. Now before we get into the nitty-gritty of the numbers themselves, let's quickly look at what's being traded. Their common stock, that's the basic stuff that you and I can buy, is traded on the Nasdaq Global Select Market under the ticker symbol ADI. This tells us they are a publicly traded company, meaning their performance is out there for everyone to see and analyze. As you can see from the filing, the main thing they're reporting on is their financial results. This report specifically highlights their performance for their fiscal third quarter ended August 2, 2025. Now, usually these kinds of reports contain detailed financial tables, and that's where we find the real story. While this particular filing is more of a notification that they announce their results, we know from the context that those results are what matters most. Analog Devices, or ADI as they're often called, are a big player in the semiconductor industry. They design and manufacture integrated circuits or chips that are used in a huge variety of electronic devices. Think about everything from industrial automation and digital healthcare to automotive technology tech. They've always been known for their high-performance analog and mixed-signal semiconductors, which are crucial for converting real-world signals like sound or temperature into digital data that computers can understand, and vice versa. And signing off on this report is Janine I. as Dearson, who holds a pretty important role as Senior Vice President, Chief Legal Officer, and Corporate Secretary. This ensures that all the information being reported is accurate and legally sound, which is, kind of a big deal when you're dealing with the Securities and Exchange Commission. Now, the most exciting part for us watching from the outside is always the actual numbers. This report tells us that Analog Devices announced their third quarter financial results. Remember, these are for the period ending August 20, 2025. While this specific 8K filing focuses on noting that they announced these results and attaches the press release itself, which is Exhibit 99.1, is where the financial meat is. We can infer from the nature of these reports that they're talking about revenue, profit, and other key financial indicators. If we had access to the actual press release, we'd be looking for things like their total revenue for the quarter. Did it go up or down compared to the previous quarter or the same quarter last year? What about their net income? Is the company becoming more profitable? We'd also be keenly interested in their earnings per share, or EPS, which is a critical measure of profitability distributed to every share of common stock. For a company like Analog Devices, a strong performance in these areas would mean they're likely seeing good demand for their chips in various sectors, especially in areas like industrial and automotive, which have been growth drivers. Let's imagine what those numbers might look like. If their revenue showed a healthy increase, say 10% year over year, that would translate to them bringing in billions more dollars than last year. If their profit margins also expanded, it would mean they are managing their costs effectively or their higher priced chips are in demand. Warren Buffett always said to invest in companies that are easy to understand and have a long-term competitive advantage. Analog Devices with its specialized chips has that advantage in many markets, but we need to see if their execution matches their potential. A slight dip in revenue might be concerning if their competitors are growing, but a significant drop could signal bigger issues like a slowdown in a key market or increased competition eating into their share. For instance, if they reported that their revenue grew by 8% while their operating expenses grew by 12%, that would be a red flag. It means costs are rising faster than sales, which puts pressure on their profits. Conversely, if revenue jumped by 15% and profits by 20%, that suggests they're not only selling more, but also becoming more efficient. We'd also look at their backlog, which is a good indicator of future sales. A growing backlog means they have a lot of orders already lined up, which bodes well for future quarters. We are not given the specific numbers in this filing itself, but the fact that they are issuing an 8K to announce these results means they are significant enough to warrant immediate public disclosure. This typically happens when they are reporting earnings that might meet, beat, or even miss analyst expectations, or when there's a substantial change in their financial condition. So what's our take on analog devices? They are a foundational company in the indispensable semiconductor industry. Their focus on high-performance analog and mixed-signal chips places them in critical, often high-margin segments of the market. Strength likely include their technological expertise, deep customer relationships, and a diverse end market exposure which helps cushion them against downturns in any single sector. However, the semiconductor industry is notoriously cyclical and intensely competitive. ADI must constantly innovate to stay ahead. Key risks would involve global economic slowdowns impacting demand for electronic supply chain disruptions and the ever-present threat of new technological expertise, deep customer relationships, and a diverse end market exposure which helps cushion them against downturns in any single sector. However, the semiconductor industry is notoriously cyclical and intensely competitive. In conclusion, while this specific filing is a notification, it signifies that Analog Devices has shared its recent financial performance. Investors and analysts will be poring over the details of their Q3 results, looking for signs of continued growth, profitability, and resilience in a dynamic market. For Analog Devices, success hinges on their ability to consistently deliver innovative chip solutions that power the next wave of technological advancements. Alright, that's our quick decode of this Analog Devices filing. What do you think of their reported performance, and what does it mean for the future of tech? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this breakdown helpful, please give this video a like and subscribe to Corporate Decoder for more insights like this. And don't forget to join our Discord community. The link is in the description for even more in-depth discussions on all things corporate finance. Thanks everyone, and we'll see you in the next one.